you Good evening, everyone. I am Ritika Nayak, your moderator for today's episode. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Startup Sun. In our childhood, we all loved to play video games, from playing racing games like Need for Speed to wrestling games like WWE. All of us have spent a lot of time with our favorite games. In today's world, where crypto is booming in market, crypto games are something which you should be aware of. Crypto games, also known as NFT game, is a video game that includes elements that use cryptography based blockchain technologies. We present you Cosmo Infinitas. Cosmo Infinitas is a community driven metaverse wherein a virtual world where infinity possibilities exist. Please welcome the team Cosmo Infinitas and its founders, Mr. Vakati Sai Pratyush, Mr. Viswajit Panda, Mr. Prateek Nayyar, Mr. Abhishek Yadav, and Mr. Sifan Khan with their innovative startup.
Thank you, Ritika. Can you just check, am I audible?
Yes, Bhai.
Okay. So in the meantime, when we are presenting the screen, let me just introduce myself. I'm Abhishek Yadav. I am the co-founder and blockchain developer here at Cosmo Infinitas. Now, before starting, let me just ask the question so that we can get a perspective here. Just type in yes or no. Have you heard about NFTs, blockchain, and metaverse? Just yes or no, so that I can get a perspective here. Okay, great. Okay, so many of you are saying yes. That's great, guys. You all are aware of what are the recent technologies. Okay, so if someone is saying no, I haven't seen it, but so if someone is saying no, we'll be introducing you to NFTs, blockchain, etc. very soon. So let me just start with what exactly Cosmo Infinitas is. So Cosmo Infinitas is a community-driven metaverse, which is built on top of blockchain, and it is completely decentralized. Now, we have introduced NFTs as digital assets inside this metaverse. Now, are you confused? These are so many technical words that I've thrown at you at once, but don't worry, we'll be introducing you to all of that eventually. Now, let me just start with a story. So the story is that let's travel back in time. Let's travel back to 2017. The craze of PUBG was at its peak at that time. I think all of you might played PUBG or have seen your friends playing PUBG at that time, right? So imagine that you are a YouTuber and you have millions and millions of subscribers. And because of FOMO, all your subscriber asked you to, you started playing the game. Now, after playing the game, you eventually gained a lot of subscribers, that is exponential. And after that, you started investing in the game, your time and your money as well. You bought some assets. Let me give you an example. The skin of a gun of AK-47 used in PUBG. So these are the example you bought. And let's assume that you bought about 10 lakh worth of in-game assets. Now, fast forward to 2020, government suddenly banned PUBG because of privacy issues. Now, you are worried. You are worried because all of your assets are stuck inside PUBG. All this games like PUBG, etc., are centralized. So you cannot recover all these assets, right? And you cannot transfer these assets from one place to another as well. Now here we come in as Cosmo Infinitas. Now let me give you just an overview of what we are doing. We are a metaverse. We are focusing on gaming ecosystem, and we are trying to make the gaming ecosystem interoperable. Now, what is gaming ecosystem and what is interoperability? I'll be explaining you later. But let's just start with what exactly is metaverse. I just wanted to make it interactive, so let me just ask you, like, what do you think is metaverse? Just one word will be sufficient. Just type in your answers. Or if someone want to unmute the mic and say, you can go ahead. What do you think? What is metaverse? Okay, I get the answer. Future, virtual reality world. Okay, any more? Virtual world. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So many of you are almost right, but you are not completely right. Let me just say that we are actually living inside the metaverse right now. What, in my definition, what exactly is metaverse? Let me first give you an example. This Google Meet, which we are having now, is a part of metaverse. This is the representation of something real inside digital. That is what, in my opinion, is metaverse. Now, metaverse is divided into various parts. This Google Meet is a type of socialization of the metaverse. And the metaverse is divided into 5 types, basically. Okay. So the first one is events. You can organize events inside a metaverse. The second one is interconnected spaces, or as I said, it's about socializing. And the third is gaming ecosystem, which we are focusing on. The fourth and fifth are digital markets and advertisements. Now, these are the types of metaverse, but before moving ahead with the story and what problem we are solving and how we are solving, let me introduce to what NFTs are and what blockchain is so that you can get an overview of what they are. Ishita, can you please explain what NFTs are and what blockchain is?
Yes, Bhaiya. Okay. Just like we have paintings, games, and other stuff, NFTs are just the digital version of these, like arts, games, videos, music. Just like we sell and buy our real world items, in the same way, we can sell and buy these digital assets too. NFTs stand for non fungible tokens. Physical money and cryptocurrencies are fungible, meaning they can be traded or exchanged for one another. They are also equal in value. That is, $1 is always equal to another dollar. One Bitcoin is always equal to another Bitcoin. NFTs are different. Each has a digital signature that makes it impossible for NFTs to be exchanged for another NFT. Now, coming on to blockchain. Blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger, or we can also say it collection of transaction that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. Each block in the chain contains a number of transactions, and every time a new transaction is added, a record of that is given to every participant's ledger or collection. The decentralized database managed by multiple participants is known as distributed ledger technology. Blockchain is a type of distributed ledger technology in which transactions are recorded with an immutable cryptographic signature called hash. This means if one block in one chain was changed, it would be immediately apparent that it had been tampered with. So, if hackers wanted to corrupt the blockchain system, they would have to change every block in the chain across all of the distributed versions of the chain. So, this was all brief about NFTs and blockchain.
Okay. Thank you, Isita. I hope you get the overview of what NFTs are and what blockchain is. But now let's move back to the story which we were. So all your assets are stuck inside PUBG. Now, what do? Here we present our solution. You convert all these digital assets of your PUBG to NFTs and then transfer these NFTs to your digital wallets. Now, once you transfer these NFTs to your digital wallets, it's completely your own. Even if the government bans it, there is no problem here because you are in complete control of your assets. Now, once it is converted to NFTs, you can transfer these assets or NFTs to other place. Let me give you an example. Suppose in India, the government has banned PUBG, but the players in USA are playing the game. So you can transfer these assets which you have bought on PUBG to the players in USA. So that's what NFTs is about. Now, the second part is that once you converted that to NFTs, we can make it interoperable. So what does interoperability means? It means that you can basically take the endgame assets from PUBG and use it in Call of Duty. So it is a type of interoperability. You can use the same assets from PUBG in Call of Duty after converting them to NFTs. Now, this was all about our solution part. I hope you are happy with the solution because you have problem. Like, let me give you the example of the YouTuber. He's happy because he got the solution. He can recover all his assets now and he's happy. Now, let's move on ahead with our journey, how we started and what we did and what problems we faced. So, Isita, can you just start with the journey?
Yes, Bhaiya. Okay. So our journey has been a very topsy-turvy one. The team has had its fair share taste of sweet success and bitter failures. But yeah, what kept us going was that we learned at every step we failed. So let me take you through the journey of Cosmo Infinitas. Okay. So the idea behind what we will be doing and what would be the startup based on, that is, the ideation stage started in May 2021. The team was gathered, and we can say right there after rigorous brainstorming, the startup was born. A few days later, we relaunched the startup with the development work still underway. So let us watch the launching video of our startup.
Okay, we might have a problem. Can you just wait for a minute? Okay, can we move to the next slide? Yasita? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I guess we are having some technical issues. So we had a video of how our startup was launched for the first time. Now, the startup was technically a very rich one, dealing with crypto, blockchain, NFTs, gaming. So it required us to work in all these technological sectors. And this was where we started facing problems. So our idea was to make a metaverse initially. The game developers in the team were very new to the field, so we faced a lot of problems in setting up the game. Like we had issues with giving proper movement to the characters and in making the environment. And the worst part was that we did not have any idea how to solve the problem. So, metaverse being a very wide and extensive area and difficult for us to develop, we decided to take up one domain at a time. We switched from metaverse to only gaming. We have till now incorporated two games, a 3D one and a 2D one. We have connected these games to MetaMask wallet and have started integrating blockchain to our games. We have throughout this time participated in various hackathons, have succeeded in some, and have lost some. So I would like to call Aparajita Diti to take you through our achievements.
Thanks, Ishita. Let's have a peek into achievements. We were recognized as one of the top 40 projects built on Polygon Matic and bagged a prize money of $500. We were also in the third place in Bharat Verse Hackathon organized by IIT Bombay and Polytrade and bagged a prize of $1,000. We also bagged a prize of $300 in it Global Web3 Hackathon and as well got selected in the first round of Antler India and Antler India Web3 Fellowship. Now let's have a look into our future plans. Okay. We're developing more 3D and 2D games and integrating them with NFTs. We are also building a platform to loan with in-game assets and earn interest from them. We are building a SDK to simplify game development. And and the most essential and recent plan are that we will be releasing our own NFT collection for the first time in VSSUT. We are currently working on this project and we will be soon informing you all the whereabouts. Now, finally, let's get introduced to the team. Abhishek Yadav and Shifan Khan as blockchain developer, Pratik Nair and Vishwajit Panda as web developer, Pratyush Wakadi as Blender developer, Ritu Lagna as graphic designer, Ishita Satpathy as Unity developer, Vishwa Kalyan as Unity developer, and not to forget me, Aprita Panda as content creator. That's all from our side. Now we are open to Q&A session. So we're open to ask any question.
And there was some technical issue with the launching video. So if you want to, then we can share you the Instagram ID. You can just go over and check the launch video. Okay. So now we are open to questions. So if you have any doubt, you can shoot in questions and we'll be answering that.
You can ask your question by raising your hand in the chat box or by writing the questions in the chat box.
Okay. No, we are not. Like, can you explain what CMO is? Like, you can unmute your mic and.
It's the chief marketing officer. Bhaiya.
Okay. Okay. So we are not in requirement of a CMO right now, but yeah, we'll be like looking into that. In future, we might have that problem, so we'll be looking at that. Okay. Okay. From Pariksit, sorry. So we can basically save our gun skins as NFTs and move it to another game and use it that. Yeah, basically that is our concept. So if it is decentralized, then you can do that. But if it is centralized, then you cannot move your assets. Like we have to go through so many processes for a centralized game. Like imagine transferring your assets from PUBG to Call of Duty in a centralized way. But in a decentralized way, we can do that. Sure. Okay, Pratik Chaudhary, what is the implementation of blockchain in your startup? So basically, it's all blockchain. So NFTs, which I spoke about, it is in blockchain, and then we have we are trying to implement loaning, etc. That is the DeFi part of the blockchain, and other part is the gaming will be completely on the top of blockchain. So metaverse we are building, it is on blockchain. So everything about our startup is basically blockchain. Okay, so Lalit. Okay, so So we came up with the idea about I was like doing blockchain development since my first year. So we got the idea. We started with digital ID part. Then we found some problem in that. Then we came up with the idea that we wanted to do something with the metaverse as it was booming at that time. So we started with that, and eventually we gathered a team and we discussed the idea. And as Isita has said, we started with the metaverse idea, but then there were some problems with the metaverse idea. So we pivoted, and we are just like, let me give you an example, just like Amazon started with only books. So a metaverse has many different parts. So we are starting with only the gaming ecosystem of that. So this is how we came up with the idea. What do you think about the future of agri-tech startups in metaverse? As of now, I haven't seen any agri-tech startups in metaverse, but there might be some not related to metaverse, but agri-tech startups related to blockchain, and there are some agri-tech startups related to NFTs as well. Uh, so there are providing some values which is related to agri-tech. So NFTs are there, but right now I don't know about any agri-tech startups in metaverse. Is Blender in Hive? Pratyus, can you answer that?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, Blender is in hype because every 3D model aspect, whichever is being built on this platform, is getting generated from Blender itself. So yeah, Blender is definitely on a hype.
I hope it answers your questions. Anushka is asking, as a beginner, how can I grow myself as a blockchain developer? So basically, for starting as a blockchain developer, you have to start with web development part first. First, know what web development is all about. Then you can know about what blockchain is. That is basically me giving you the roadmap. How I did that. Basically, I learned about web development, and then I started learning about what blockchain is, technology, cryptography, etc. And then you can move ahead with the development part. It's a bit tricky, but you will get there. What all problems did you face during the entire journey? So basically, we faced a lot of problems. Like the first one is related to Unity development. Ishita, can you explain what problems did you face, like in Unity development?
Yes. So the problems that we faced initially was that it was a technically very rich one. So yeah, we did not have that much exposure, and we were not that skilled to make a metaverse. And technically, metaverse is a very technically rich field. So yeah, we had problem with working up and making a metaverse. So what we did was we just broke it into parts and we started developing the gaming part more. So yes, there was problem with developing the metaverse actually.
Okay, Asutosh has a great question. How did you find a good team? So basically, finding a good team is basically about finding people who are actually thinking just like you. So the first point is that, and if you don't find anyone who has the same motive as you can incentivize them basically. So they, if they don't follow you, you can incentivize them. So that is how you can form a team. But the first, the basic part is that you need to find someone with the similar mindset as you. So that is how you find a good team. Okay, so I hope that answers your questions. And Satish Varik is asking, how much does it charge to maintain NFT? So basically, it depends. If you are in Ethereum chain, so it will take about $40-50 to mint. But if you are in Polygon, it will take about ₹1. So basically, our NFTs, which we are trying to build, it is on Polygon chain. So to mint, we have to like pay ₹1 or ₹2, basically. If you guys can, then you can unmute yourself and ask as well.
Hello, Bhaiya. I want to ask some question.
Yeah,
How are
yes,
you?
sure.
How are you just generating your revenue from the blockchain market? I want to know the revenue process.
Okay, so about revenue and all of that, it's quite complex. If I start explaining about how we are trying to generate revenue, it will take a long time, and you just need to understand about how NFTs are minted and how like blockchain, how the gaming ecosystem works in metaverse. But if you want, I can like provide you one resource. You can go ahead and search for XC Infinity or Engine ecosystem, Engine basically startup. So you can search about both of this and you can find your answers there. But yeah, if you want to know more about revenue, you can connect with us in LinkedIn or Instagram, etc. We'll be happy to explain you about that. Okay, Ayush says
Yes,
same is yeah. Okay. So
yes,
I
Bhaiya. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Bhaiya, what
So
is the meaning of
yeah.
metaverse?
Okay, as I just said that metaverse is something, in my opinion, you might have different opinion about metaverse, but in my opinion, metaverse is something where you represent a real world asset in a digital way. So basically, I gave the example of this Google Meet. So we are representing the real world meeting, which we used to do before Corona offline, in an online way. So this is basically what I think of as metaverse, but you might have a different opinion. So I'll not say that this is completely true, but it's my opinion, like representing something real in a digital way. That is basically metaverse.
So, in reference to gaming, how can we define metaverse?
Okay, so in reference to gaming, you can go ahead and like play all the games in a platform like where everything is decentralized. Yeah, Facebook is building something which is centralized, but most of the metaverse which are now like Decentraland, Engine, etc., they all are decentralized. So in a decentralized way, metaverse in a gaming ecosystem is something where you have the complete control of all your assets and your data are secured by blockchain. So, in my opinion, that is what metaverse in gaming is about. You have complete control of your assets in games. Say, for example, the skin of the gun, etc. You have complete control. Like even if government bans it, you cannot like you can recover it basically. So this is what I mean by metaverse part in gaming.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah. Okay. Ayush has asked something. Is gasless minting unsafe? So we are not going into that much technicality because all of you will be confused. But like just for like one way, I can say that no, it is not. It basically depends on the blockchain which you are using for gasless minting. So you cannot use unsecure blockchain for minting. That is always unsafe. So I don't think gasless minting is unsafe. Okay. Any more? Okay, I just gave the example. The first is Decentraland. You can go ahead and search for Decentraland. And the next is XC Infinity. It's basically, as someone asked here about like gaming ecosystem in metaverse, you can just go ahead and check XC Infinity. You will get the idea of what is gaming ecosystem in metaverse. XC Infinity. I'll just type in, or you can like search it. Like you can get it. Sorry. What's your view on are NFTs part of future of finance? In future of finance term, I would say not as of now part of the future, but in parts of uh, like content community or the content creator part, yeah, NFTs are the future. But for finance, I don't think anyone has anything sure about finance as NFTs, but I'm sure about content creation, and NFTs are going to be a future in content creation, basically. Okay, well, there are three questions. So, how I can use the metaverse ecosystem for my profit or revenue generation? Yeah, Satish, as I said, that profit and revenue as generation will be explained later. It is a very vast topic. And about Anushka's question, how did you come up with the Cosmo Infinitas? So, Cosmo Infinitas is basically a mixture of Greek and Latin words. Cosmo means universe, and Infinitas means infinity. So, basically, a universe of infinity. That's what Cosmo Infinitas means. Now, Amartya is asking, will digital assets valuation grow like the physical assets? Yes, I think so, but you might have a different opinion, but I think so. Digital assets will have a value. Let me give you an example. You used to flex like we used to have Armani clothes or watches, which are very expensive. But right now, as we are spending so much time in the digital space, we want to flex in digital. So that's why I think digital assets will be growing in valuation. But that's my opinion. If you think you like money or you like Rolex watches, you can go ahead with that. But to flex in digital world or to have value in it, I think it is. I'm 100% sure that digital assets will grow in valuation more than physical assets. And Ayush is asking, at the time of receiving salary, can the checks to be received can be part of NFTs? Okay, that's a great idea. We can do that, but there are certain complexity regarding salaries like taxes, etc., which government is imposing right now. And there are so many things like you are not going to give 30% tax for your salary, right? So that is what I mean. uh, it's a gray area right now, but we can do that. If you want to work on that, I can help you with that. But right now, there are no such startups or any idea related to that. You guys can unmute and ask as well. If it's taking time to type in those charts. Ritika, we'll wait for some time. If you don't have any question, we can like close the meeting. Is it fine?
Okay, bhai.
Okay. So like we'll be staying here for like 2-3 minutes. If you have any questions, you can just go ahead and put in the chat box or directly ask the questions. Otherwise, like we'll be closing the system. Okay, Ritika, I don't think we have any more questions. So, guys, those who are here, if you have any question, like you can connect with us in our social media.
Es-
Uh,
es-
okay, yeah,
excuse,
Sasi.
excuse me, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
I have one. Uh, I have one question regarding that blockchain technology. As we know, there is not much awareness in the blockchain technology in India. And how do you think it will grow in future in India? That perspective I need from means how it will
Uh,
react, how your market will sustain from now. Means the initial stage will be of course hard, but how do you see the market in next 2 to 3 years, and how we will sustain that market ecosystem?
Okay, so it's basically depends upon the government. If the government is imposing tax, I don't want to get into politics, but if the government is imposing 30% tax on a technology, then I'm sure it will not grow as fast. But like if the government is introducing CBDC, etc., then it will grow. But we actually have awareness about blockchain and other cryptocurrencies. We have different startups like Polygon and other things like which are global now. So there is awareness, but not much awareness. But government has to step on it and then introduce something so that the technology will grow further.
Yes, Bhaiya. But India is planning to accept the decentralized world.
Yeah,
So
well,
that means that the decentralized world will get implemented in India, and India will also promote it in India itself. So there will be, of course, problems for the 30% tax bracket, and there will be solutions also. But it will take time to grow.
yeah, that's what I basically said. Uh, but yeah, but let's not get into that because it's a bit political and I don't want to involve in that part right now.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we can create awareness of the blockchain technology and all that part, so that it will reach to the most of the Indians, and of course Indians will accept blockchain as technology and they love it, and I think it will grow a lot, but it will definitely take time.
yeah. What you are saying is correct. Yeah, I do think like that. So I hope it grows, but let's see.
And of course, there will be more startups regarding blockchain technology, as everyone is accepting blockchain technology. There will be more startups
I think you are not able. Okay, in the meantime, we have a question. Is any NFTs minted right now of your team?
all of them says.
Asutosh, actually, I lost you like in the middle. You might have some issues with your network. Please just check it. Parikshita, is any NFTs
Uh,
minted right now of your team? No, we haven't, but we individually have our NFTs. But we'll be doing that soon and we'll be giving it to our team. And as well to the students of VSSUT, we'll be launching the NFT collection soon. And you'll get all the information regarding that. Parikshit, I hope I answered your questions. Okay, is any NFTs mint? Yeah, okay. That's a similar question, sorry. Okay, do you have any more questions? Mm, I don't think so. Ritika?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yeah, okay. We'll close the session. If you have any doubts, you can just contact us like directly in our social media.
With this, we will wind up today's amazing knowledge-based episode of Startup Sunday, presented by Team Cosmo. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next